Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now. This morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Friday, August 9th. Happy to see Friday this week, aren't we?
I know.
It's been a long week, we were saying. And you're making me really hungry this morning, talking about Chinese food and bakeries. I got muffins on the mind now.
Yeah, and I just started about cookies, too.
It's tough out here.
It's one of those days where it gets cold. You think about stuff like that. So
right, you need some warmth.
Exactly.
I got my blanket right here.
She's got a blankie. All right, I'm going to get to some weather real quick. You're cracking me up, man. We also see today that we have sunny conditions. We're a little bit cooler, though. We may even pick up some cloud cover getting into areas north of I-94, and that means we could see the potential for a little bit of a shower, maybe about a 10% chance or a wee bit more. Hey, warming into mild conditions for next week, and then we've got some shower chances coming in later in the week as well. Current temperatures for you, widespread in the 50s out there. Yeah, it is really nice. In fact, you're going to see some fog up to the north by Ladysmith. Eventually, we'll see that trickle down, but we're not expecting a lot of fog because the winds are kind of breezy out there. Yeah, they're breezy, and they'll continue to do so into gusty conditions by Saturday. Hey, how about this, though? If you're in La Crosse, you're looking at some sunshine and maybe a few clouds. We'll call it to partly cloudy skies. We may increase the clouds, though, in Eau Claire, where you'll see the potential for maybe a shower or two popping into your picture there, getting into overcast conditions to possibly into mostly cloudy skies. I'll have your full forecast coming up for you in just a bit, so stick around.
All right, Art, we will see you a little bit later. Tropical Depression Debbie is threatening the East Coast today. It's bringing the risk of catastrophic flooding and tornadoes. Forecasters say after starting today around Virginia, it could be through Maine by tomorrow morning. In states farther south, some homeowners are facing severe flood damage, others picking up the pieces after Debbie spawned tornadoes. And to the campaign trail, Trump and Harris face off in their first debate next month on September 10th, with more debates possible. Harris and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, continue campaigning in battleground states, holding a rally in Arizona today. CBS's Jared Hill reports.
After touching down in Phoenix last night, today Vice President Kamala Harris prepares to take her battleground barnstorm to the Sun Belt. The Democratic nominee also agreeing to her first head-to-head matchup with former President Donald Trump in a debate on September 10th.
I'm looking forward to it and hope he shows up.
The announcement as the vice president spent more one-on-one time with voters. Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, expressed their solidarity with United Auto Workers in Detroit.
We are all in this together.
Former President Donald Trump lashed out at the Democratic ticket during a news conference at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida.
She's a radical left person at a level that nobody's seen. She picked a radical left man.
Trump criticizing Harris for not having done a sit-down interview since announcing her run for the White House, also criticized coverage of the size of her rallies.
Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me.
Trump falsely claimed more people turned out for his speech at a Stop the Steal rally on January 6th than showed up for the 1963 March on Washington, when Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech.
Former President Trump holds a rally on Friday today in Bozeman, Montana. The state has only voted for Democrats in 2 presidential elections since 1952. Microsoft says Iran has ramped up attempts to influence the presidential election in this country. The tech giant says Iranian operatives are creating fake news outlets to target liberal and conservative voters, and they're trying to hack an unnamed presidential campaign. According to Microsoft, neither site has gained much traction on social media, but that could change as the election gets closer. A new poll shows that many Americans remain opposed to the Supreme Court's ruling overturning Roe v. Wade 2 years ago. According to a new Marquette Law School poll, 2/3 of Americans oppose the High Court's abortion decision. That is a more lopsided disapproval than the court's other major recent decisions, including to expand access to guns or to grant former President Trump sweeping immunity from criminal prosecution. The Supreme Court's 2022 ruling returned the question of abortion to states, about half of which have banned or severely restricted access. Congressman Derek Van Orden met with U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and La Crosse City officials to discuss flood risks in our community. They reviewed the ongoing La Crosse levee study and visited high-risk flood sites around the city. The study aims to improve flood management along the Mississippi, La Crosse, and Black Rivers. Plans include modifying the 7 levees that protect La Crosse with help from state and federal funds. Any structures still in flood-prone areas will be relocated.
This is an example of how government can actually work together. The local, the state, and the federal levels, all making sure that we can have a place that is economically viable to live in.
The levee study was secured in part of the Water Resources Development Act, which helps assess flood risks in La Crosse, Arcadia, and River Falls. The third day of Nia Tao's retrial wrapped up yesterday in La Crosse County Court. Tao is one of two defendants accused in a 2021 triple homicide at a West Salem quarry. Key witnesses took the stand, including the sole survivor of the shooting. This witness identified Tao as responsible for the murders. A former fellow inmate also testified, claiming Tao discussed the crime while in jail with him, referring to him by his nickname, Kush.
Did Kush say whether or not he was involved in the deaths?
Yes.
How was he involved, as he said it to you?
As the gunman.
Tao's co-defendant, Comnatheth Ratanasak, was sentenced to life in prison in January. He accepted a plea deal to testify against Tao in the last trial, and he's expected to testify in this one, too. La Crosse City Council has voted to ban camping on all city-owned property. The measure passed with a 7-5 vote, amending the city's code of ordinances. Council members Doug Happel and Mark Newman proposed the amendment in response to confusion over existing policies. The decision comes after recent debate on how to manage camping in public spaces. The council also voted to shift decision-making power on camping bans from the Board of Public Works to the full city council.
We have tried numerous ways to not get here, and we have tried a lot of things and they haven't worked, so this is the option I see best for right now for the city, for its residents, businesses, and taxpayers.
A recent city report identified 230 people in La Crosse without permanent housing. Just 70 of them are in local shelters because the shelters are at max capacity. Some council members are asking where unsheltered people will go now that the bans are in place.
We're still going to have 200 people unsheltered the day after this is enacted. They're going to be someplace. They're going to be someplace the day after that, the day after that. We are still dealing with this. I do not think that this is the solution.
After banning camping on city property, the council rejected a proposal to allow camping in Huska Park for the unsheltered. The council also reviewed a report on interim overnight shelter options. Many members opposed all 12 potential locations. Common Council also approved Coulee Cap's request to refile a rezoning petition for the Reach Center. That center is home to 20 organizations that help residents with housing and financial stability. It wants to update its building and expand services, but zoning issues have blocked those plans. Previously, rezoning required a council supermajority, but Wisconsin recently changed that law. The council will review the petition again in 90 days. Get ready for an exciting weekend of events in the Coulee region and Chippewa Valley. The 19th annual Irish Fest kicks off today in La Crosse. Enjoy Irish dances and performances, sheep shearing, storytelling, games, and more. Children under 17 are free, and don't forget to wear green. The Bangor Lions are hosting the annual Fun Days celebration this weekend. That event features carnival games, a softball tournament, fireworks, and a parade. They're also accepting donations for the Stuff the Bus campaign. And tomorrow, Chippewa Falls celebrates Pure Water Days with a parade and Riverfest. The family-friendly event includes giant inflatables, live music, food trucks, a beer tent, and arts and crafts vendors. The time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news. Reports show ChatGPT is so realistic, people may develop relationships with it. First-time applications for unemployment benefits fell last week, and Samsung is issuing a safety recall on some of its stoves.
Healthcare costs are going up. I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a new report that shows how much money retirees will need for medical expenses.
And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Smokey the Bear celebrating his 80th birthday today. The beloved fictional bear first appeared on a wildfire prevention poster in August of 1944, quickly becoming America's symbol for wildfire prevention. His original message was care will prevent 9 out of 10 forest fires. Now it's the familiar saying only you can prevent wildfires. A year-long celebration of Smokey the Bear's 80th birthday kicks off today with an award ceremony that is, honoring wildlife prevention heroes. He looks pretty good for 80. As you start to wake up this morning, we leave you with a quick wake-up call. Can you guess what city this is? The marriage capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Stay with us. Your Morning Consumer News is next.
Refresh your space with a mid-century makeover at Ashley. During the Labor Day sale, discover statement pieces starting at $499.99. Plus, get 0% interest for 5 years on in-store purchases. No minimum purchase required. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Our son Trent overcame kidney disease and beat cancer. But when he injured his leg, he took what he thought was a pain pill.
It was laced with fentanyl, and it killed him. He was 23.
We reached out to Tammy Baldwin, but all we got back was a form letter.
Obviously, she doesn't care about families like ours. Our kids are dying from fentanyl pouring across our border.
And we can't trust Tammy Baldwin to stop it.
Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Driven to Clean, our goal is fast, efficient cleaning of your trash bins and dumpsters. Our high-powered wash system and autonomous trucks kill almost 99% of all bin bacteria, using 200-degree pressurized water to blast away germs and residue. We come the day after trash or recycling pickup for residential services and pre-schedule for commercial. Once completed, you'll have the cleanest bins around. Check out our plans and pricing at driventoclean.com.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
the feeling is mutual.
Everything's made fresh.
Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
Yay!
We love our guests.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This has been my happy place.
from Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Has your pet been diagnosed with a luxating patella or floating kneecap? Forget the inconvenience of travel and expense to a university. Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics in Holmen specializes in using both tibial tuberosity transpositions and block trochleoplasties to safely repair your pet's injury. Fetch made possible, one knee at a time. Contact Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics today.
We've all seen these ads by Senator Baldwin attacking me. She's lying to you. But that's what career politicians do when they get in trouble. The truth? I was born and live in Wisconsin. I've never run a nursing home, and of course I believe seniors should vote. The false attacks are going to keep coming because she has nothing to run on. Her record has failed us on inflation, the border, and crime. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message for this reason. It's time for change.
Labor Day mattress deals are happening now at Ashley. For a limited time, save up to $1,000 on select mattress purchases. Plus, get 0% interest for 5 years on in-store purchases. Only at Ashley.
All right, and away we go here. Not much in the way of fog right now. We had Ladysmith that was down to 4 miles. They've now recovered. We're looking straight back down here where we'll see the potential for a little patchy fog developing between 6 and 7 o'clock, but it won't last long. You can see it here kind of moving in, then starts to work out by the time we get into 7 a.m. for us. So that's good news. Why, though? Because the winds are kind of breezy working across from west to east, and so mild conditions move in eventually once we get past all that cooler air for today and into this weekend. Mild conditions will take us into the lower 80s, possibly to closer to the middle 80s once we get into midweek before any type of storm activity may come back, and that's about a 20 to 30% chance in some cases. So sunny and cooler into the weekend, warmer as we go into next week, and as I mentioned, we have a slight chance of storms coming back as we get into potentially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe even beyond that. Current temperatures though for you widespread in the 50s and some 40s out there right now, so it's a little bit cooler, but it's really nice. How about this though? 24-hour temperature change, you're gonna see at least from 7 to about 18 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. And man, that cool is going to last us, as I mentioned, going into the weekend. So for Eau Claire, this is what you're looking at. Increasing clouds. We may even see a shower or two possibly moving into the picture and possibly getting up to maybe a 1/4 of an inch of rainfall all the way up north of I-94. For La Crosse, you're looking at sunshine pretty much into partly cloudy skies. 70s roll in as we go into the evening hours as well. It's going to be nice. Here's a look at some of that rainfall potentially. You can see it over Claire, picking up by Ladysmith and extending all the way down to Black River Falls. And that starts to dry out once we get into Saturday into the overnight hours. I'll have more about this forecast coming up for you in just a bit, so stick around.
In your morning consumer news, could human beings depend on computers for companionship? That's a concern raised by OpenAI, also a movie, I think. The Artificial Intelligence Research Organization issued a safety review report of the tool. The report suggests the human-sounding voice of ChatGPT is so realistic, some people may develop relationships with the tool. Yeah, that was a movie. ChatGPT's advanced voice mode responds in real time, makes adjustments when interrupted, and can determine a person's emotional state by their voice tone. Officials at OpenAI say they've observed people, quote, expressing shared bonds with ChatGPT. First-time applications for unemployment benefits fell, putting some recession fears on hiatus. The federal government report's initial jobless claims last week fell to 233,000, down from the prior week's 250,000. Economists say this is within the range of a fairly healthy labor market, but the report wasn't all good news. Applications from people who have filed for unemployment for at least 1 week increased to 1.8 million. This is the 9th straight week at or above that level. Samsung is issuing a safety recall due to a problem with some of its stoves. So if you have one of these, listen up. About 1.1 million slide-in electric range units are affected. People and pets can start a fire by bumping into these knobs. Several videos have shown pets accidentally igniting fires by jumping onto the stove or hitting the knobs. A video from June showed a dog setting a house fire in that manner. Boxes on the stove ignited after the dog pawed at the knobs. Samsung will provide free knob locks or covers for affected products. Record numbers of Americans are hitting retirement age in 2024. The Alliance for Lifetime Income estimates about 11,000 a day are turning 65. Millions of them will start using Medicare. Jill Schlesinger says people receive the government health insurance still need to plan for major medical expenses.
65 million Americans currently receive Medicare for health coverage, but still face plenty of out-of-pocket expenses. A new report from Fidelity Investments reveals that a 65-year-old retiring this year can expect to spend, on average, $165,000 for health care and medical expenses throughout retirement. That number has more than doubled since 2002. Those expenses include premiums for Medicare Parts A and B, prescription drugs, and other costs like co-payments, co-insurance, and deductibles. The number is expected to go up about 5% every year, so people who are currently working need to plan for these expenses now. If your company offers it, enroll in a high-deductible health plan paired with a tax-free health savings account. If you leave your job, you can take your HSA with you and even use it decades in the future. If you don't have access to these plans, consider creating a separate investment account reserved just for health care. Putting a little bit of money away every month can help make sure you're covered during retirement.
That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:17. Let's check back in with Art to get a look at our forecast.
All right, and away we go. We're going to get this area of low pressure just kind of pushing out of Canada and moving rainfall a little bit closer to our north and northeast. We'll keep an eye on it. High pressure is building as well, but slowly but surely we're going to hold on to cooler conditions going through the next couple of days. Yes, they'll bump up a degree or two as we get into Sunday, but they'll still be well below seasonal average. How about this, though? These winds are going to pick up and it's going to get breezy, and that's what we're going to contend with today, and then gusty conditions go into a Saturday. Take a look at this, though. We see the storm activity trying to get closer to us as we get into Monday. We'll switch it out maybe to about a 10 to 15% chance, and then that gets out of the way. Once we get into Tuesday, warmer conditions start to ensue, and those lower 80s start to get into the picture, and that will mean high pressure is going to get a little bit closer, not only to our south, but just a little bit more so closer to home here. All right, that being said, 50s widespread right now, some 40s in there. It is very comfortable. And if you plan on doing some activity early in the morning for today, well, you're looking at drier conditions, but increasing clouds possibly for areas north of I-94. So cooler today. We get into the weekend. We're going to be sunny, at least getting up to mostly cloudy to cloudy conditions, though. We'll also be picking up here as we go into the next week. Warmer conditions ensue, and those clouds will also begin to increase. Take a look as we go through today. Here are the clouds beginning to build up, especially up to the north of I-94. Then we get into into at least the 12 o'clock hour, you're seeing a little bit of drizzle starting to move into the picture. Light shower activity starts to move in as we go into the 4 o'clock hour. Then we get maybe the potential for a storm or two kind of popping in. Maybe it won't get to the ground, but it's possible the clouds will increase on us, and eventually they'll start to dry out. We'll get into mostly clear skies going into Saturday, going into the wee hours of the morning. If you're planning on doing some golf, still a bit breezy out there in the morning, so something like your little your putt, or at least your drive, maybe going a little bit farther to the east or the west out of your way. Hey, take a look as you go into it. More clouds will start to sneak in as well, so we'll see at least mostly sunny skies to at least partly cloudy skies to finish out the day. That being said, we get into the headlines, sunny and cooler into the weekend. We get into warming next week. We'll also be picking up the potential for some storm activity. Here's a look for Friday, though. Sunny to cloudy skies, breezy, and we see temperatures in the 60s and the low to middle 70s. We'll also see as we go through the next few days, 73 for our high today, 75 for tomorrow. A whole lot of sunshine, but cooler, still below seasonal average on Sunday, bumping back into seasonal averages for Monday, Tuesday, going into Wednesday. There's a look at your rainfall, about a 20% chance, increasing to possibly a 20 to 30% chance as we get into Friday.
Thank you, Art. The time now is 6:20. Still ahead, a new surgical technique is bringing relief to patients with deviated septums. Coming up, we'll explore how this improved procedure is helping patients breathe easier.
Coming up in sports, we go to the La Crosse Central Riverhawk football practice to hear from the squad as the first week of practice continues. Plus, the Brewer Bats put together some highlights you won't want to miss. All of that coming up in the Morning Blitz.
Drug companies are making record profits while our families struggle. As a state lawmaker, I've passed bills to cut prescription drug costs. I'm Katrina Shanklin, and I approve this message because in Congress, I'll work with anyone to negotiate lower drug prices.
For over 40 years, La Crosse Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
What do we think? Burglary gone wrong?
More like a chilling spree.
You see it all too often. When you don't take care and maintain your system, it's all too easy for problems to pop up when you need it the most.
It's hard to stay cool under pressure.
Proper service and maintenance is worth its weight in the cold.
I'm not a fan of having problems. What can you do?
Call G&T as soon as humanly possible.
Don't lose your cool this summer. Call G&T Heating and Air Conditioning today.
There's never been a better time to enjoy quality Smith Brothers sofa sectionals and chairs than right now during the annual Smith Brothers sale at Drury's in Fountain. You'll save on the latest sofa styles, stunning casual sectionals, and cozy chairs and recliners, even luxurious leather designs. Smith Brothers, made in America by skilled craftsmen dedicated to putting quality first. Plus, there's even special 24-month financing on all Smith Brothers furniture. Smith Brothers furniture at the best prices of the year, now at Drury's in Fountain.
This election is about experience and who can find middle ground with people from both parties to get things done for workers and families. I've done that, and I'll do it again for us in Congress. I'm Katrina Shanklin. I approve this ad, and I'm asking for your vote.
This is you, one place to the next. One more thing to check off the list. But stopping for 30 minutes? Well, that's just not an option. So that's why there's this, the News 8000 app. All your local news, plus a little bit beyond. So take a break when you want to.
Celebrating 70 years, we're News 8 Now.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Yesterday was day 3 of the high school football season. This week is always the best. It has me fired up. It also has the La Crosse Central Riverhawks fired up. I was at practice yesterday, and the team was locked in. The Riverhawks coming off of one of their best seasons in school history, where they finished the regular season 9-1 before falling to Waunakee in the second round of the Division II playoffs. They came just short of a conference title as they fell to Onalaska 29-28 in a thriller and one of the best games of the season. This year, The Riverhawks are looking to build on last year's success as they return to 8 offensive starters, including quarterback Jude Alvarado, who accounted for 25 touchdowns last season. Now, Alvarado's dealing with a slight injury that has him sidelined at the moment, but his confidence is high and loves what he's seen from the guys during the first week.
That first day, hanging with your boys, everyone's hype. It's that first day that everyone's excited about. But it's really the longevity, making sure that you're there for the second day, the third day. That's when it really gets hard. I think when I'm back, this team's going to be flying by. It's going to be, I don't know. I'm proud of this team. I think that they're going to go far, even with me, without me, I mean, so I'm proud.
Now, because it's Olympic season, I went ahead and asked the guys what Olympic event they would compete in, and made for some fun.
I think handball is probably the most realistic option for me at this point. My shoulder's a little tired after a couple days of camp, but handball would have to be my go-to if I'm trying to make a squad.
Coach said that he would be in handball. What do you think of that?
Olsen said that? That's a good choice for him. About 100-meter dash. I love going fast, quick, easy race, get it done.
Well, Coach Olsen's handball career will have to wait until after the season. The Riverhawks will open up the year against the team that knocked them out last season in a very good Waunakee team. But Coach Olsen said it'll be a great challenge to open up the year. To the MLB, Brewer fans, yesterday was a fun one. Milwaukee down in Atlanta, first inning. Man on for William Contreras, and he gives this ball a ride. High and deep to center field. It's a 2-run shot. Milwaukee takes an early lead. Let's go to the second inning. Now 3-0 Brewers, and the rookie Jackson Chourio is going to show off a little bit. Drives this one out to center. That's gone for a 2-run shot. Milwaukee up 5. You want more home runs? Well, the Brewers got him. Garrett Mitchell gets a hold of this one, sends it almost to the exact same spot. It's now 6-0. And then in the third inning, Willy Adames steps in and he says, "See you later." This one out to left field, into the bleachers, makes it 7-0. Fifth inning, now 10-3, but Chourio steps in, and for the second time in the game, Chourio is going deep. This one to right field. The Milwaukee offense explodes for 16 runs as they sweep the Braves. The Brewers put up 52 hits and 34 runs in the 3-game series, now hold a 6-game lead in the division. Brewers back in action tonight when they host the Reds at 7 o'clock. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you then.
There are many reasons to join the Y. Building endurance, losing weight, strengthening your heart. When you join the Y, you're committing to more than simply becoming healthier. You're supporting the values and programs that strengthen community. Join the Y today.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
I'm the proud son of a single mom.
My mom worked nights to provide for us.
My mom worked 80 hours a week.
But Eric Hovde thinks if you have a single mom, you're going to be poor or a drug addict?
That is a direct path to a life of poverty. It leads to higher drug rate.
That just shows Eric Hovde is ignorant.
Come on, I'm successful today because of my mom.
I learned my work ethic from my mom, my single mom.
What is wrong with this guy?
Are you ready for a red-hot summer? At King Furniture, our prices are... Get your choice of these quality Jackson sets for $11.99. Need something more custom? Check out these 5 England sets for just $14.98. Available in your choice of over 100 fabrics. And in your home in just 30 days. Need a new recliner for Dad? We have hundreds of recliners, all on sale and in stock. Get into King Furniture while the prices are...
Craving authentic Mexican flavors? Look no further than Señor Villa. At Señor Villa, we bring the taste of Mexico to your table every day. Join us for our unbeatable $5 lunch specials packed with flavor and value. And don't miss our nightly specials where the fiesta never ends. Señor Villa, where great food meets great value. Visit us today. Señor Villa, the taste of Mexico you've been craving.
We provide specialty level care in anything from wisdom tooth removal to dental implant placement to more complex corrective jaw surgeries.
Trying to make it as easy of an experience as you can go through. We're the most experienced clinic in the region for these types of procedures. If you or your family member needs wisdom teeth removed, tooth extraction, dental implants, you found the right place. We'd be happy to see you here.
We work closely with your general dentist. Have a discussion with your dentist about a referral to us.
Maury's VW has all the latest Volkswagens with new product arriving daily, including the new 2024 Volkswagen SUV lineup, the large and very spacious Atlas and Atlas Crossport, the perfect size family-friendly Volkswagen Tiguan, and the practical, economical Volkswagen Taos. As always, you don't need to travel far to have your Volkswagen serviced. Come in for your test drive today at Maury's Volkswagen.
Become a better you with the help and support of the Y. Join us for Interval Zone, a high-intensity interval class to give you a total body workout. Try small group training and work out with a few friends. You can be stronger and living better through the help of the Y.
Call Hupy and Abraham. They really do mean business.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In your morning medical news, the CDC is reporting vaccines helped prevent more than 1 million deaths for people born between 1994 and 2023. The CDC's report also says these vaccinations prevented hundreds of millions of illnesses and tens of millions of hospitalizations and saved the U.S. billions of dollars because parents did not have to miss work or spend money to treat an infection. The findings are based on 117 million children and 9 vaccines, including measles, hepatitis B, and rotavirus. A new study is finding using marijuana daily for years may raise the risk of head and neck cancers by up to 5%, but researchers did not find a link between occasional marijuana use and those cancers. Head and neck cancers make up 4% of all cancers in the U.S., with more than 71,000 new cases and 16,000 deaths expected this year. Many people with deviated septums don't know they have one or realize how much it's actually impacting their quality of life. Doctors say for the right patient, an hour-long operation can be life-changing. Dr. Malika Marshall has more on how smaller incisions and new technology and techniques to control bleeding are making recovery a lot easier.
Part of the job of a firefighter is to sniff out danger, which was always a challenge for 41-year-old Cliff Silva.
I will enter the building and say, well, I don't smell anything. And then everyone else comes in and they say, well, it's definitely here and we have to go find it.
Little did he know he had a structural problem.
I would take a deep breath and I would have one side of the nose and didn't really realize that that was wrong.
24-year-old Valerie Shaw's nostrils would collapse on both sides, making it hard to breathe and smell.
My mom would always tell me that the scents in my car were too strong.
Both Valerie and Cliff had deviated septums.
Deviated septum surgery has been around for decades, but new improvements have made it a lot less painful and more effective.
I think it's come the furthest of any surgery that I do in 10 years.
Dr. Linda Lee is a facial plastic surgeon at Mass Eye and Ear. She says the key is selecting the right candidates.
We understand who to operate on and who not to. We can't cure snoring, we can't cure allergies. So it's got to be a very distinct deviation in order to improve.
Nostril breathing is important for smell and taste, sleep, exercise, mood, and possibly cardiovascular health.
I know that not only is it a quality of life thing, but I truly know you are healthier now.
Dr. Lee operated on both Cliff and Valerie, which they say was life-changing.
I did this to live and breathe, and it made an unbelievable difference.
It was like a whole new world. I was like, I really couldn't breathe out of my nose before this. I can smell colors.
Colors, and finally, the air fresheners in her car.
If you think you have a deviated septum, doctors say consult a plastic surgeon to make sure you're a good candidate for this surgery. And in some cases, patients can also have cosmetic work done on their nose at the same time. U.S. swim star Katie Ledecky and rower Nick Mead have been selected as Team USA's flag bearers for the upcoming closing ceremony. Ledecky won 4 medals in Paris, making her the most decorated U.S. women's Olympian of all time, earning a total of 14 medals. Mead is a 2-time Olympian, part of the team of Justin Best, Michael Gracie, and Liam Corrigan. They won the first gold medal in men's 4 rowing since the 1960 Olympic Games. The Olympics closing ceremony is set for Sunday. Lacrosse's festival season kicking into high gear as Irish Fest celebrates its 19th year in the Cooley region. The festivities started last night with a special appreciation dinner for those who make it all happen. Now in its 17th year, the dinner has found a new home at Riverside Park for the past 2 years, moving from its previous location at the festival grounds.
The sponsors make all the difference, and we thought by adding this perk that our people would like it, which they do,
and we'll just continue to do it.
Tonight, the main event begins, bringing Irish culture, music, and festivities to the heart of La Crosse. Hunger doesn't take a summer break. That's why the YMCA's summer meal program is so crucial. U.S. Department of Agriculture officials visited the Dahl YMCA yesterday, praising its efforts to feed local kids when school's out. News 8 Now's Michael Germain explains.
The YMCA is an incredibly strong partner in using federal nutrition programs.
The YMCA's summer meal program ensures kids have access to nutritious meals all season long. Funded by a grant from the La Crosse Community Foundation, the program also provides activities to keep the community engaged. USDA member Cindy Long says programs like these help families as a whole.
So programs like this are critically important to make sure kids get the nourishment they need, so they can, continue to be healthy and to take a tremendous amount of stress off those families.
According to Long, on any given day, roughly 30 million kids eat lunch at school, which many students get for free or at a reduced price.
Imagine how those families feel when all of a sudden school is over.
According to the National Director of Strategy and Quality Practices, 1 in 5 kids are unsure where their next meal is coming from. The YMCA is helping provide over 54 million meals nationally to children 18 and under.
During the summer, those families lose access to those sometimes 2 meals that the kids are getting 5 days a week. So this provides that consistent support for our families.
Reporting in La Crosse, Michael Germain, News 8 Now this morning.
The program kicked off June 10th and will continue through August 23rd. You can visit our website if you need more information. The time now is 6:35. Here's News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
Well, it's not as cold as the studio, I'll tell you that for right now. But we get into cooler conditions today and tomorrow leading into Sunday. We'll also be picking up sunny, possibly to at least mostly cloudy skies today with a slight chance of shower activity. It's about maybe a 15 to about a 20% chance. We'll roll into breezy conditions as well. Then next week we get into much warmer conditions. We get back into those mild temperatures around the lower 80s. That being said, some storm activity may show up as well later on in the week. Right now, current temperatures 50s widespread. We saw some 40s here. You can see 43 in Sparta, 58 in La Crosse, and man, oh man, it's going to be much cooler. As you can see, it is at least 7 to about 16 degrees cooler for your local forecast. All right, that being said, we go into how this all plays out for Eau Claire. You're looking at temperatures mostly in the 50s and the 60s with increasing clouds, and you have the potential for a little bit of shower activity, like a 20% chance. That's above I-94. How about La Crosse, though? We have the sunshine, a few clouds here kind of getting out of the way. We'll limit the clouds getting into at least partly cloudy skies to finish out the day, and it's going to be really comfortable. Here's a look at some of those showers as you finish out from the 5 o'clock hour to 7 o'clock hour, and then by the time you get into the latter portion of the evening, it's done into midnight. Hey, how about this, though? This is what we're expecting as we go from 4 o'clock all the way into the overnight hours. We're looking at least a 1/4 inch of rain or less. As we get into it here, take a quick peek as you roll into the next few days. You're looking at temperatures in the highs at least around, say, 64 to about 73 degrees. And then tomorrow will be much cooler. Or I should say, well, at least maybe a couple of degrees warmer, but it's still below seasonal averages. As you take a look here, cool conditions will last into the weekend, and then we'll hold on to at least the low 80s on the way.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, what we have is Emery is turning 8 months old. She is at least, she says she loves to spend time with her family, and she loves to babble up a storm. You know the feeling.
Emily's also turning 8 months. She also loves to spend time with her family.
Oh, hey,
So
if you know a
cute.
special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, or 18, or 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website. Coming up, it's Foodie Friday on News 8 Now this morning. This week, we're joined by the general manager of Apothic Eatery and Food Truck to discuss what it's like operating a brick-and-mortar restaurant and 2 mobile food trucks.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee Fuel Saver for every $50 you spend this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's a 25-cent Fuel Saver for every $50. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Eric Hovde, multimillionaire California banker, named one of Orange County's most influential residents. A glamorous lifestyle, the best parties. Hovde bragged about being in the 1%, but accused Wisconsin farmers of not working hard. Now, this California banker wants to buy a Senate seat in Wisconsin. Eric Hovde, what an arrogant, phony fraud. DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
the feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything. Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's.
Yay! We love our guests.
Love.
As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
There's never been a better time to enjoy quality Smith Brothers sofa sectionals and chairs than right now during the annual Smith Brothers sale at Drury's in Fountain. You'll save on the latest sofa styles, stunning casual sectionals, and cozy chairs and recliners, even luxurious leather designs. Smith Brothers, made in America by skilled craftsmen dedicated to putting quality first. Plus, there's even special 24-month financing on all Smith Brothers furniture. Smith Brothers furniture at the best prices of the year, now at Drury's in Fountain.
Get an 11% rebate on everything. Transform the look of your home with a new Ideal garage door. Choose from our in-stock selection or design your own using our garage door designer. This insulated door with windows is $599.99 after rebate. Keep your outdoor accessories organized with Suncast storage cabinets. They're durable and easy to assemble. This tall storage cabinet is $186.99 after 11% rebate at Menards. America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. You got a bunch of loudmouth, preening politicians. It's absolute chaos. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after 26 years as a Navy SEAL, there's a few things that I learned. You stay on mission, you know what you're fighting for, and sometimes you gotta get a little dirty to finish the job. Let's go, kids. Not you. Not you. You. Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden. I approve this message.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's a 25-cent fuel saver for every $50. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Well, good morning to you as we get into it here, taking a look at the upper air pattern. You're going to see this area of low pressure kind of scooting on over to the east and dragging that cold front with it. Also, it's also carrying in some breezier winds from west to east across the area. So at least that's going to happen all the way to Saturday when we finally turn into gusty conditions. Instead, you'll see winds up to 22 miles per hour. Then as we go through Saturday into Sunday, the winds start to pack back off, and we'll see them drop back down to about 5 to 11 miles per hour. That being said, high pressure gets out of the way there, and we start to get back into, well, into the mild. The temperatures are warming up. We'll see warming up from the south as well, building up there. Warmer conditions kick in as we go through Tuesday as well. Low 80s will be a part of our forecast. You can see it here, cooler, then warmer. Cooler and sunny today, though, a bit breezy. We even have about a 20% chance of rainfall north of I-94. That being said, we'll also see the clouds increase up by Eau Claire and Ladysmith. By next week, we have the possibility of mild to sunny skies getting into at least cloudy conditions as rainfall may come part of our forecast getting into midweek and beyond into near the weekend. That being said, take a look for today here. We're looking at noon, getting into at least increasing clouds up to the north. We're picking up some spotty shower activity. Maybe some of that might not get to the ground, but some of it will. And we're looking at the potential for maybe even a storm possibly popping into the picture if possible, mostly over by Mansfield. That gets out of the way once we finish out into the evening hours. Then we go into Saturday. If you're playing golf tomorrow, just remember it's going to be breezy to gusty kicking into the forecast for you, where you're seeing winds up to 22 miles per hour gusting. And then, in fact, you'll see as we go into the afternoon, those winds are still kind of holding on, but they'll taper off a wee bit getting into the latter portion of the afternoon. temperatures in the 60s and the 70s, and then we'll hold on to at least some clear to partly cloudy skies working to forecast from the south going northward with increasing clouds overnight going into Saturday night. All right, highs today, 64 at least all the way to about 73 degrees. We are way below seasonal average, right? Then we take it into tomorrow. In fact, we'll see temperatures warming up a couple of degrees, still holding on to below seasonal averages in the cool. We'll get into the mild once we get into next week, Monday, Tuesday, with the potential for more sunshine. Then storms possibly come back into the picture, maybe about a 20% chance, a slight chance with mild conditions still holding on to Thursday and Friday. Thursday is about a 10% chance, and Friday is a slight chance getting into a 20% chance of rainfall and storm activity. Be safe out there.
Every week for Foodie Friday, we talk with the business people and artisans behind outstanding restaurants, bakeries, bars, and more. This week, we are joined by Apothic Eatery and Food Truck in La Crosse. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you. So tell us a little bit about your business. We understand it's a little bit double-sided, right? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we own and operate a food truck, a restaurant, and a catering arm of the business as well. Matt Curtis just recently bought it about a year ago and decided that he wanted to kind of be more robust in the catering aspect of the business, since it wasn't something that was done a lot before he owned it. Okay. So that's kind of what we've been up to for the last year or so.
What's the vibe like at Apothic?
So it's kind of going through a little bit of a resurgence. We used to have more of an Asian vibe, but we're really taking that fusion aspect of our brand to heart, and we're kind of moving in more of like a Mediterranean direction, since we don't have a lot of that here in La Crosse.
Right.
There's been such an influx of Asian restaurants that have been kind of coming into the area, which is amazing. So we're kind of maybe passing that baton off a little bit and going more into a Mediterranean direction.
Okay, yeah, that's very exciting. That sounds great. And so what inspired, you know, the start of this business? How did it come to be?
Well, so Maria Norberg opened it several years ago, and wanted to have that food truck experience for the region, just because we hadn't had that in the area, and they grew this amazingly successful business. Matt Curtis, like I said, took that over about a year ago and just wanted to continue that brand and continue that presence in La Crosse. And now we've, like the Asian restaurants, we've had an explosion of food trucks in the area, so it's been kind of fun to watch people take up space in that arena as well.
Okay, and you guys are everywhere
Wow.
with your food truck. I've seen you at the air show. It seems like any festival me and my family go to, Apothic is there with a food truck. So you guys have a great presence.
Yeah,
and
it's
good
super
food too.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, it
we
is
love
great.
it.
You got to try it. We got to get you to try
I
it.
will, but at the restaurant you have beverages also?
We do have
adult?
beverages. We have a lot of tequila. We have a lot of, no, we do. We have a full bar. My front of house manager, Eli, is a cocktail master. We have craft cocktails. Typically, we don't open the restaurant until closer to that November time frame. But because of the catering and the food truck aspect, how mild last year was, we were able to keep the food truck out for way longer than we normally do. Typically, we kind of cancel the food truck in October for our fingers and our toes.
Yeah.
And then we open it back up in May. But now we're kind of, I think we're going to do a little bit more with the food truck during the colder months.
Okay, and did you guys just get a second food truck? Did I see something like that?
We did,
okay.
yeah. So that one's more like a smash burger, kind of fried food, more of your normal bill of fare. So we can operate 2 separate menus at the same time, which is really fun.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, and what one thing would you recommend people try from Apothic? I know the menu changes, so that might be tough, but what do you recommend?
Yeah, so I mean, our bowls are amazing. We do like a Mediterranean bowl, a jerk bowl, but anything of the Mediterranean I would try. We're coming up with new dishes and different dishes. We focus a lot on vegan and gluten-free as well, so we want to make sure that everybody has access to really delicious food regardless of their dietary restrictions. So if people do have those restrictions, they can still enjoy a good lunch as well.
All right, sounds perfect. And where can we find you?
Well, so you'll have to check our social media.
Yeah.
We're in different spots all the time.
Right.
So we're obviously we're a restaurant on wheels. So we're always moving. So check our
keep up
social,
with you on social
Apothic
media.
Food Truck and Eatery on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. I do appreciate when you post the menu because it is always changing. So you definitely grab my attention with those menus that you guys post. So all right, Apothic Eatery on Facebook. That's what you said?
Apothic Food Truck and Eatery on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. Well, anything else that you want people to know?
I guess I just love the fact that we have such an amazing community here. I just wanted to say kind of a little bit of a thank you to the rest of the food truck community. We've had a couple of, bumps in the road, and just their support has been incredible. And the fact that we have a community that comes together and we help each other out is just really awesome. There's no real competition. It's more of a collaboration, and I love that.
Well, thank you for your creativity.
Yes, that is great. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Hard to top, the bargain shop.
When you want new furniture with styles that are nice, and we've made very special buys that are always the right price.
Now in all home furniture stores.
Gotta make a stop at the bargain shop.
Our son Trent overcame kidney disease and beat cancer. But when he injured his leg, he took what he thought was a pain pill.
It was laced with fentanyl, and it killed him. He was 23.
We reached out to Tammy Baldwin, but all we got back was a form letter.
Obviously, she doesn't care about families like ours. Our kids are dying from fentanyl pouring across our border.
And we can't trust Tammy Baldwin to stop it.
Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
How will you reward yourself with the benefits you'll get from Riverbank's Rewards Checking? A morning pick-me-up, a leisurely round, a special dinner, or an evening pause. This checking account comes with 3.04 annual percentage yield. There's also a refund for foreign ATM transaction fees. Stop in to one of the convenient locations or visit online to learn more about Riverbank's Rewards Checking. Riverbank, local banking made simple. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Batteries Plus, we know off is not an option. Off means you're late for work or miss a call. Life's busy, you're busy. You need to be on the road, on the water, on the call, or just ready to play on. Batteries Plus has batteries, phone repair, key remote services, and lighting solutions you can rely on. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
The Pro Pulling League is coming back to the Hillsboro Fireman's Park again August 9th and 10th. It's time for the annual tradition known as the Hillsboro Charity Tractor Pull. 8 great PPL classes are competing over 3 sessions, including Pro Stock tractors, Super Modified tractors, mini rods, and more. Friday starts at 7 p.m. and Saturday has 2 sessions, noon and 6 p.m. Camping's available and tickets are just $25. Kids are free. Don't miss it.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
I'm the proud son of a single mom.
My mom worked nights to provide for us.
My mom worked 80 hours a week.
But Eric Hovde thinks if you have a single mom, you're going to be poor or a drug addict?
That is a direct path to a life of poverty. It leads to higher drug rate.
That just shows Eric Hovde is ignorant.
Come on, I'm successful today because of my mom.
I learned my work ethic from my mom, my single mom.
What is wrong with this guy?
When you want a great deal on mattresses,
Gotta make a stop at the bargain shop.
how about this Fusion Luxe Hybrid Queen mattress for $5.99?
Gotta make a stop at the bargain shop.
In all home furniture stores.
The First Warn Weather app. Download it today. First Warn Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart.
Welcome back at 6:51. Time for your morning news now. The third day of Nia Tao's retrial wrapped up yesterday in La Crosse County Court. Tao is one of 2 defendants accused in a 2021 triple homicide at a West Salem quarry. Key witnesses took the stand, including the sole survivor of the shooting. This witness identified Tao as responsible for the murders. Additionally, a former fellow inmate testified, claiming Tao discussed the crime while in jail with him, referring to him by his nickname, Kush.
Did Kush say whether or not he was involved in the deaths?
Yes.
How was he involved, as he said it to you?
As the gunman.
Tao's co-defendant, Komnatheth Ratanasak, was sentenced to life in prison in January. He accepted a plea deal to testify against Tao in the last trial and is expected to do so again. La Crosse City Council voting to ban camping on all city-owned property. The measure passed with a 7-5 vote, amending the city's code of ordinances. Council members Doug Happel and Mark Newman proposed the amendment in response to confusion over existing policies. The decision comes after recent debates on how to manage camping in public spaces. The council also voted to shift decision-making power on camping bans from the Board of Public Works to the full city council.
We have tried numerous ways to not get here, and we have tried a lot of things, and they haven't worked. So this is the option I see best for right now for the city, for its residents, businesses, and taxpayers.
A recent report from the city identified 230 people in La Crosse without permanent housing. Just 70 of them are in local shelters because shelters are at max capacity. Some council members asking where unsheltered people will now go once the bans are in effect.
We're still going to have 200 people unsheltered the day after this is enacted. They're going to be someplace. They're going to be someplace the day after that, the day after that. We are still dealing with this. I do not think that this is the solution.
After banning camping on city property, the council rejected a proposal to allow camping in Huska Park. The council also reviewed a report on interim overnight shelter options, many members opposing all 12 potential locations. Common Council also approved Coulee Cap's request to refile a rezoning petition for the Reach Center. That's home to 20 organizations helping residents with housing and financial stability. It wants to update its building and expand its services, but zoning issues are blocking these plans. Previously, rezoning required a council supermajority, but Wisconsin recently changed that law. The council will review the petition again in 90 days. Get ready for an exciting weekend of events in the Coulee region and Chippewa Valley. The 19th Annual Irish Fest kicks off today in La Crosse. Enjoy Irish dancing and performances, sheep shearing, storytelling, games, and more. Children under 17 are free, and don't forget to wear green. The Bangor Lions hosting their annual Fun Days this weekend. That event features carnival games, a softball tournament, fireworks, and a parade. They're also accepting donations for their Stuff the Bus campaign. Tomorrow, Chippewa Falls celebrates Pure Water Days with a parade and river fest. The family-friendly event includes giant inflatables, live music, food trucks, a beer tent, and arts and crafts vendors.
Well, just remember, if you're going to some of these events for today and tomorrow, you're looking at conditions to be below seasonal averages, and we'll see winds getting up to 18 miles per hour in some cases, and then gusting on Saturday to at least 22 miles per hour. Take a look at what I've got going on for you for this evening. Get out if you can. 60s, pretty much into the upper 50s, and then we get into the highs for Saturday. You're looking at temperatures getting to around 75 degrees for the warmest spots. All right, that being said, yeah, we've got a little bit of rainfall potential as we go into tonight, and then that's a slight chance. Better for the weekend and into Monday.
All right, Art. Well, Polly Pocket is becoming an Airbnb host. Look at that. The 90s era icon opening a life-size 2-story slumber party fun compact in Massachusetts. The 42-foot tall home includes pockets full of nostalgia, from Polly's vanities stuffed with hair and nail accessories to throwback looks in her closet. Guests can get comfortable watching a movie on the couch or head to the life-sized action park tent just 10 feet away. The Airbnb is open to guests for single night stays from September 12th to the 14th and costs just $89 per person. Only 2 nights that's available for? That's gonna fill up quite fast, I think. I used to love Polly Pocket. Thank you for starting your morning with us. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your Friday.